If you're learning about coordinate planes, this video is perfect for you. Let's take a look at this example where we practice reflecting ordered pairs or points on a coordinate plane. Let's first take a look at point A, which has an ordered pair of -3, +7. To plot this point, we'll start at the origin, move 3 units to the left and 7 units up to plot point A in quadrant 2. Since this video is all about practicing reflecting points, let's go ahead and reflect this first one across the y-axis, or the vertical axis. To reflect point A across the y-axis, see how many units away it is from the y-axis and count that many units to the other side or to the right of the y-axis. If point A is 3 units to the left of the y-axis, then its reflection, or A prime, that's that A with that little mark at the top, is going to be 3 units to the right of the y-axis. A prime is located at +3, +7. When reflecting points across the y-axis, just write the opposite of the x value. So the original x-coordinate of -3 becomes +3 in the reflection. To plot point B, we'll start at the origin and move 6 units to the right and 4 units down to plot it in quadrant 4. For this example, let's reflect point B across the x-axis, or the horizontal axis. Since point B is 4 units below the x-axis, then B prime, or B's reflection, is going to be 4 units above the x-axis. B prime is located at +6, +4. When reflecting a point across the x-axis, just write the opposite of the y-coordinate. So in this case, -4 for the y-coordinate became +4. To plot point C, we're going to start at the origin and move 4.5 units to the left and then 9 units up to plot point C in quadrant 2. Let's go ahead and try reflecting this across the x-axis. Given that point C is 9 units above the x-axis, then its reflection of C prime must be 9 units below the x-axis. C prime is located at -4.5, -9 in quadrant 3. Notice how the x-coordinates stay the same, but the y-coordinates are opposites again. Now let's try point D. To plot it, we're going to start at the origin and move 3.5 units to the right, and then we'll move 7.5 units down. Point D is located in quadrant 4. Let's try reflecting this point across the y-axis, or the vertical axis, and notice how this point D is going to be 3.5 units to the right of the y-axis, so its reflection has to be 3.5 units to the left of it. D prime is located over here in quadrant 3. D prime, or the reflection of D, is located at -3.5, -7.5, where notice how they have the same y-coordinates, but they have opposite x-coordinates. Let's look at point E now. To plot it, we're going to start at the origin and move 4.25 units to the left, and then stay on the x-axis to plot this point. If we were going to go ahead and reflect this across the y-axis, we're going to notice that point E is 4.25 units to the left of the y-axis, so E prime, or its reflection, needs to be 4.25 units to the right of the y-axis. E prime, or the reflection of E, is going to be located at +4.25, 0 on the x-axis as well. Notice how their y-coordinates are still the same, but their x-coordinates are opposites. And finally, for point F, let's plot it by starting at the origin, not moving left or right, and then moving up 7.25 units. For this final example, let's reflect it across the x-axis, and since point F is 7.25 units above the x-axis, then its reflection of F prime has to be 7.25 units below the x-axis. F prime is located at 0, -7.25, or also along the y-axis. And notice how just like in all the other examples, one of their coordinates stays the same, so their zeros match here, but their y-coordinates are now opposites. -7.25 is the opposite of +7.25. The big key takeaway for understanding reflections is that you just need to find the opposite of one of their coordinates and keep the other coordinate the same. I hope you found this video helpful, and keep up the great work.